What's up, everybody? It's another episode of The Touchdown with Doug Smith. And in this episode, I'm in New Orleans. Boys gone wild.
Touchdown with Doug Smith, got him beat waylay. Bricks provide the hits, paving tracks I lay. Throwing haymakers, I don't need a hook. Still got him shook, came.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode, great episode, excellent episode of The Touchdown with Doug Smith. Now, folks, oftentimes I get feedback like, Doug, your energy is great. It's wonderful. You're the best. But as a matter of fact, folks, there's somebody who's actually better than me, brings more energy. It's a heck of a lot more fun. And I'm blown away. He even said yes to be for me to be in his presence today. I have Adam Lewis. He's part of the What the Off-Season Sports. Man, give it up for him, folks. Adam, what's going on, man?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Thank you so much for having me. And you're flattering me already, man, calling me better than you. I don't believe that. I see your subs on YouTube. You got about 500. I'm still trying to hit my first 100. But hey, man, bringing the energy, having fun. I love all your content. And like I said, man, we're about to have a hell of a show today. So I appreciate you having me on your show, dude. It's really an honor. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You got it, man. And folks, as you can see to his background, he's from my wife's city, the beautiful city of New Orleans, or at least he's from Who that? And look, I ain't a Saints fan. I ain't switch. It's still Miami Dolphins, but be respectful of my guests. I got the UCF hat. I got rep Florida, but be classic. Adam, folks, really quickly, we're going to talk about the Saints, Drew Brees' injury, Jameis Winston, and, are Saints really Super Bowl contenders? I think so, and I'm going to tell you why. Adam probably shares a similar opinion, too. But Adam, tell the folks where to find you. Tell them a little bit about your show as well, too. Florida, man.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So the What Off-Season Sports podcast, our thing is all energy, only sports every single day, daily social media videos with current sports content. We have a few segments on social media as well. If you manage to find me on social media, you can click the link in any bio that you see on any of my pages, and that's going to pull up my link tree. Every page and every podcast platform we have, everything we're putting out, if you're in that link, you're going to find us. We just released an interview last Friday with the two-time Super Bowl champion, Bryant McFadden with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's doing some numbers right now on YouTube, about 300 views in a few days. So I'm really appreciating everybody on that. I got an episode coming out Friday. We're going to be looking at some preseason predictions, really holding myself accountable for how the NFL season's been unfolding. So yeah, man, just having a whole lot of fun over here and just making my way up in the game. So I'm super happy to be on the show today. Thank you, man.
All right, no doubt, man. And folks, I'm going to do my best at having as many links to his platforms down below in the description. I definitely want you to sub to my channel, but before you do, let's show our guests a little class in hey, subscribe to this channel before you do mine, okay? Please do that. So, folks, I'm going to take it from the top. So, I did a video. Adam, I think you and I talked months and months ago about, I should say months ago, probably like 2 months ago when the season started, right? And I did a Super Bowl predictions. I don't know if you remember. We talked briefly on Instagram. And I was like,
you had up there.
I was like, Tampa Bay's going to win it all, baby. Woo! And, I think I was wrong, y'all. I think I was wrong. I will admit I was wrong. This ain't just me being happy just because a great guest is here. But, I think Saints are the real deal, at least to win the NFC. I'll leave it at that because AFC bringing some heat too. But I think y'all are Super Bowl contenders, man. What's your thoughts on that, man?
So Super Bowl contenders, I'm not going to put us there just yet. I do think we have the roster, of course, to go all the way. Top 5 roster, potentially a top 3 roster in the NFL if you really want to go tit for tat with the Who Dat Nation's roster. The last few years in the playoffs have really broken me, man. I was at work watching the Minneapolis Miracle. It took everything in my power to not throw every plate of food I had in my hands on the ground at that moment. We come back the next year. I was like, yeah, baby, we're resilient as hell. We're in the NFC Championship, and the no call happens. I was with my entire dad's side of the family who's from New Orleans. That is the reason I am part of Who Dat Nation, is my dad's side of the family. We were all extremely heartbroken. And then we come out last year and lay an egg in the wild card round. So I try to keep myself real because I've been so excited the last 3 years for my Saints, man, but they keep letting me down. But let's not act like this is not the best roster Drew Brees has ever played with. Yes, this is better than the Saints roster from 2009, 2010, where we beat the Peyton Manning Colts in the Super Bowl, the whole onside kick shenanigans and everything. This roster is the best in New Orleans Orleans Saints has ever possessed. So on paper, yes, we're Super Bowl contenders, but I got to get Sean Payton calling the right plays when it means it. I got to get Drew Brees back healthy. I got to get my receivers catching balls when we need to, and I need the run game to develop as well. The defense has to play solid, and we've been playing better football over the last 3 or 4 weeks, but I want to see more out of my Saints. Everybody wanted to put New Orleans so high up after we crushed the Bucs 38-3 on prime time, which of course I absolutely love, but I also said, let's not act like Tampa Bay came out and played their best game, and we did that to them. Let's not act like this was a 38-25 shootout that we were able to win. No, we crushed them in the first quarter, and there was no looking back. And that's the best the Saints have looked since the NFC Championship year. And if we can play like that, we can beat anybody in the league. So as of right now, I think on paper we're Super Bowl contenders, and I do think, of course, we have the potential. But I'm trying to save my heart right now. I know we can do it, but I'm gonna wait until we get there. Divisional, okay, we'll get a little higher. NFC Championship, boom, and then once we're at the bowl, man, nobody's gonna be able to tell me anything. So
I love it. You know, so my wife's family, for those who don't know, is also from the great state, sometimes crazy state of who that nation.
Oh, absolutely crazy state. There's nothing normal about Louisiana, let alone New Orleans, brother.
It's an awesome, crazy town for sure. That being said, I remember, and God rest my beautiful father-in-law. You know, I wish he'd be here to see this video, but when the Saints won the Super Bowl, he had a Saints onesie, he had a Saints cup, he had the beads in the hat, and he lived in Rhode Island because after Katrina, they all moved up there. So yeah, and we was yelling out in the street, and I'm not from that area, but man, just to see that, man. So. And I will say this too, you know, since the era of the mega contract, Drew Brees could potentially be the first ever quarterback to take and win Super Bowl and not only go to Super Bowl, but win one with a mega contract. Because usually that tightens up roster and stuff. And you got a lot of people buying into, you know, Sean Payton's mindset and his vision of what this team can be and will be and is, you know. Now let's talk Drew Brees. You know, he got injured. And stuff like that. Tough
injury for my guy, but hell of a dude to stay in the second half. And I mean, you watched the interview after the injury. You know, I went on Monday morning, or I think his actual advice broke, you know, about what happened on Monday morning, and they had interviewed him. Bless you. They had interviewed him, you know, after the game, and they were asking how it was. And originally he said it wasn't pain. I just wasn't going to be able to be effective. And I was like, okay, I get that, you know. And then once we heard about the collapsed lung, I understood. But the biggest thing that I heard from Drew is he said finishing out that second half was, quote, it was terrible. It was awful, but I found a way to make it happen. And the fact that he was able to hustle through the rest of that half, because when Brees went down, I was sitting next to my buddy in my room watching the game. When Brees got hit, and I don't know if anybody saw, he laid down for just a little bit longer than he usually does. I was like, that's not my quarterback. I was like, he just got shook on that play. And I knew he did because I knew the big guy hit him. I saw him roll over. You kind of saw him get up, and he was kind of favoring that rib, and I was like, Brees is hurt. But then he played the rest of the second half, and I was like, okay, you know, maybe he's going to shake it off. And then when Jameis Winston comes out and starts the second half, I knew it wasn't a go for Brees. And I mean, my guy's an absolute GOAT, no question about it. He's super tough. And Sean Payton has said in all his years, he's never had his quarterback say, besides with the thumb injury, coach, I can't go. I'm not good enough to go. I'm not going to be effective. So, I mean, hats off to Drew Brees. I think he's going to be back before we know it. But yeah, man, hell of a guy. And I mean, look at what he's done for the Saints so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And how long is he looking on being out?
So they said 2 to 3 weeks, but I don't want my 41-year-old quarterback with 5 fractured ribs and a collapsed lung coming back in 2 to 3 weeks. Because let's realistically look. When Brees went out with the thumb, he was supposed to be out 6 to 8 weeks. He beat that by a 2 to 3 week margin, came back before the bye week against the Arizona Cardinals of last year, who were obviously not a threat at a 5-10-1 record, so there was no question that they weren't a threat. But the fact that Drew wanted to get back before the bye, I wanted him back after the bye week, but he came back quick. I feel like Drew knows, man, these are ribs. You move, you cough, you sneeze, you get up too fast, your ribs are hurting, man. And then with the collapsed lung as well, I don't want my 41-year-old quarterback coming back in 2 to 3 weeks. I realistically see him being out for a month. I think Jameis will hit the Falcons twice, the Broncos, and the Eagles. We can afford to drop one of those games. Only one, because I think Tampa, they're playing an on-fire schedule. It was in my post today. They're playing an on-fire schedule right now. Okay, they're going to lose at least one of those, if not two, because Tampa is not a real consistent football team yet, because when they're on 100, man, they're on 1,000. But when they're on 0, I mean, they're ground zero. There's no bringing them back. So I think New Orleans has the resiliency, but I want to see Brees take his time because he's older, man. And honestly, this could really alter the rest of his career.
Yeah, absolutely. That being said, I don't know if you saw him do that last week.
We eat those. You said that's a dog. We eat those.
The cheesiest celebration, but it's
Ever,
you know what?
dude. Ever.
I like that he brought it back, and I love it. I love it.
did.
Own it, man. Own it. Own that's who he is, man. Like,
Right.
you know, he may not be a funny guy, but damn, that is funny now. And like, it's to see him smiling, to see the humility of taking a smaller contract, knowing that he could have got a heck of a lot more money, but to say, hey, yeah, I was a starter in Tampa, you know, and I need to learn. I was, as Stephen A. Smith would say, you know, I was defensive player of the year, throwing all them picks, you know, and oh my, that quote had me laughing. But you know, Jameis Winston, I think is gonna be all right. You know, I think that he could possibly sweep. You know, I would like to see Drew Brees maybe come back the last game right before the playoffs just to get him warmed up and he ain't too rusty. You know, that is his team at the end of the day. But man, who's better than Jameis Winston? I mean, in my humble opinion, he is the best second string, even better than Miami's Ryan Fitzpatrick. You know, second string quarterback in the National Football League. You know, so I think it should be good. It should be good for Jameis this week, for sure.
Yeah, I think Jameis is in a good spot as well. You can almost argue Jameis Winston is in the perfect situation right now for New Orleans. Look at Teddy Bridgewater last year. I said it. I said, with Teddy not losing a game, I don't care if he beat the Jaguars 13-9. I don't care if he had some close wins. I don't care if he had games where he only threw for 150, 170 yards. He didn't have to. You know, and that's what the Saints are going to do with Jameis Winston. Sean Payton is not going to have Jameis putting that ball in the air 30 times. I don't want to see Jameis throwing that ball really any more than 20 times. I think 25 times will be the max attempts he'll get per game. You're going to see an increased usage from Latavius Murray, who likes to run in between the tackles. You're going to see a lot more tosses for Alvin Kamara. And I think the thing is, you know, someone said it the other day, it's either going to be one of two things. They're going to walk him through their progressions, or they're going to say, look, if it's not Sanders, Thomas, or Kamara, throw it out of bounds. If you even get a chance to look at Jared Cook, you know, and I think Sean Payton is going to be able to scheme him in well. And the biggest thing is he's just not going to set Jameis up for failure. He didn't set Teddy up for failure, and I was nervous as hell when Teddy Bridgewater came in after that happened versus the Rams. I mean, he looked awful in the Rams game, comes out, blows Seattle out of the water in Seattle, and takes us on to 4 more wins. But more than anything, why it's a perfect situation for Jameis, he gets a chance to revive his career, because that's what Teddy Bridgewater did. Teddy Bridgewater used to tweet after every game, I love New Orleans. I'm never leaving this place. Sean Payton just came in and said, if we don't start dancing, we're getting fired. I love this place. I'm never leaving. I remember that tweet. I was like, man, Teddy's here. He's the future. And I was happy about it. But I also said, money talks, but we know what else walks. And I said, if someone comes with that money, and it kind of came back to bite me. I said, if somebody comes with a cheap little $15 to, $20 million contract, like I said, hey man, $60 million over the next 3 years, Teddy gets a chance to revive his career. This is a guy that was potentially not going to play football again. I mean, you're talking about a potential Alex Smith story, and he was able to come back and play very effective football. I want to say he was like anywhere from 7 to 9 touchdowns and 2 picks over that 5-game stretch. I think that's pretty good for a guy who also went undefeated and kept the Saints' playoff hopes as strong as they were at 13-3. Because you think the Saints drop a couple of those games, we're going 10-6, 11-5, and we don't even get to play in the dome against Minnesota. So perfect situation for Jameis, because this is a chance to revive his career and say, hey, those 30 picks were from an unbuttoned up Tampa Bay organization. Let's not act like New Orleans isn't a better organization than Tampa Bay right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys have kept it together. I mean, even since you look at other organizations, like look at the Ravens when they won the Super Bowl a couple years, 5 years ago or something like that. The whole team left.
Yeah, they did. I knew Ravens were going to win it that year too. I was like, Ray Lewis is saying he's gone. Ravens about to get him one, and they did, man. I mean, it was perfect.
Yeah, Ed Reed, all them boys, they were out of there. You know what I mean? Whereas with the Saints, they kept a lot of those players. A lot of even I predicted them after 2009. I think wasn't winning the championship. I predicted them in 2010 to win it again, you know, and I feel like they're always in the top. You know, you got to put them in there as a top 5 team, you know, who could potentially win the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So, but now, you know, we're going into week 11, I believe it is.
Yep, we're going into week 11, yes, sir.
So it's winding down. You know, playoffs is gonna be here before you know it. You know. And here we are. You know what I mean? Now we got to talk. It's like, okay. You know, you can say, oh, yeah, well, Tom Brady needed to get chemistry, got a bunch of new players, you know. But it's like, y'all beat the brakes off of them. Like, it was just like, you ever watch a lion just, like, killing a gazelle and just ripping its guts out, and it's just, help me, help me, help me, God. You know, it's y'all beat the brakes off that, and y'all danced in gold and black.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Awesome. Well, Adam, man, I want to really thank you for coming on the show. Your busy schedule. We have got to do this again. We have got to have this talk again very, very soon, man. Tell the people where they can take and find you at, man.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So like I mentioned, check out the link in the bio. You can catch me at What Off Season Pod on most of the social medias I'm doing numbers on. What Off SZNPOD. I'm sure, like you said, you'll tag me in it. I can actually send you the links if you want. I can save you some sweat. I have a whole page in my Google Docs. I can send you all my links. You can just copy and paste them right into your description. But when you do find me on social media, like I said, check the link in the bio. Click that link tree. Every page and platform that we are on, it's going to be right there. Two-time Super Bowl champion Bryant McFadden, exclusive interviews out right now for him. Go check that out on YouTube. That's the best version of it. And, of course, wherever you get your podcasts at. And on Friday for episode 33, we're dropping our preseason predictions. It's a revisement, rather. We're holding myself accountable, seeing who's really going to hit the ceiling, floor, and expected, man. Thank you so much, Doug, for having me on today, man. I really appreciate it.
No doubt, man. Hey, you guys make sure you subscribe to his links. It's all, yes, send me them docs for sure, man. And we're going to make it happen. You guys make sure you go hit the subscribe button as well, too. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. Peace.